Hello, I am here, casually having another existential crisis, a downward spiral. Well, more like I was, right? I was having it. I was having it today. What brought it on, you ask? I recently noticed that I have been doing what's called spiritual bypassing, which means that I have been overindulging in my spiritual self and not indulging my temporal self. I completely neglected that part of me that knows how to survive in the real world. And I found myself in the need to do that and finding that it is so hard to do the things that I was used to doing before I I had my spiritual awakening, right? Before I became an enlightened being. Before I discovered the medicine and spirituality, I knew how to survive. I had my jobs. I was studying, dedicating myself, getting the jobs that I wanted to get. Then I completely stopped. I started saying, oh, I'm gonna start my own business because I don't like the limitations I have when I am employed by someone. And that I decided to do that, what, 6 years ago? 5 to 6 years ago, I decided to do that. And then I have been in that transition for all those years in which I have to overcome a lot of emotional blockages about it. And I I am in a situation now that I have to confront them. So yeah, I essentially neglected completely my own survival, and I have somehow manifested not having to do it. But I declare 5 years ago, I don't want to have a job. I just want to be with my baby and figure out what I'm going to do with my life. And I gave myself that for the last 5 years. It caught up with me, the fact that I was letting myself down because by neglecting my responsible side, I completely neglected myself. I over identified with being a mother and doing everything that is supposed to be good for my son. And I was hiding behind that choice because the reality is that I always knew that I wanted more, but I I was telling myself that it was okay for now. And I was telling myself, yeah, you want more, you will get more. You will. You will. Just wait. You will. You will. You will. And I just never felt ready because I was hiding behind my comfort zone, which my comfort zone was getting ready. Oh my God, I love the daydreaming and I love the planning and the visualizations and the meditating and the go sit in nature and find your purpose and like do what's in your heart. And in my heart was never to go and put myself in discomfort. But I always knew that I wasn't satisfied with just staying the same, with less. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just knew that there was more than just being comfortable like that. And so that thought always tortured me, by the way. I mean, not enough to make me do something about it, but it was always in the back of my head that maybe I wasn't doing enough. But anyway, I always found a reason or a way to justify not doing anything about it. And I use spiritual teachings as the way to rationalize it. So yeah, it caught up with me, and now I feel like I have to relearn everything about how to be in the real world. And so it has been oh, a rude awakening, humbling. It's a very humbling experience because you go, okay, back to reality, because I cannot neglect my temporal self forever. Because the truth is that I can, right? I can just become a monk and sit and think that the best thing in the world is I get to breathe and I need nothing more. But I guess I'm not that evolved. I don't know if that's really more evolved. I'm just saying, no, I couldn't quiet that part of me that wants more. So, anyway, I wanted to share that because I am not gonna be waiting anymore to be polished in order to come on here, because that's what I've been waiting for this whole time. The perfectionist in me wouldn't approve yet. And I just got tired of listening to her because it's just very disempowering, the situation that I'm in. Not being able to care for myself, not being able to take care of myself because I've been in my own bubble. Yeah, that's harsh. It's hard to wake up from. But this time I'm not gonna do it alone. I'm gonna bring you with me. I'm going to share it. And I hope that if you identify, that you let me know, because you're my people. Yeah, you're my people. So yeah, I invite you on this journey of back to reality. This is the sign of transformation, right? When you are actually going to embody the new person you're becoming instead of continue to be the same when you have been. This is the part where it gets annoying because you want someone to give you a solution, but all they give you are words of encouragement, because the call, the quest is to be brave. I want a solution, not to be sound off to be brave. But that's not what I'm gonna get. And by the way, I know that this is what I need, because even Soltar told me. Soltar is this machine that I found in downtown one day, and it gave me my fortune. And it totally told me that I don't know how to commit to things and that I was addicted to instant gratification. And I got super seduced by the teachings of spirituality that say that all we have to do is wish it and believe it's ours and it will appear. But yeah, without a deep dive into self-knowledge, then everything else that you are doing is just for show, because the real work is internal. But yeah, that internal work has a lot to do with being brave and taking risks and stuff that we're not comfortable doing. So that's why we don't do it. But anyway, I realized that I don't need to be ready. The plot twist. The only way that I don't need to be ready is by showing you my real self. And that's what I'm doing right now. My real self is really messy right now. But somehow I am still able to help a lot of people with the skill that I did develop in these 5 years, which is reading people's energy. I use tarot cards. And I also have that psychic ability of being a clairsentient. So I do help people with that. So I want to, try to develop the skill of reading tarot for the collective, because that is something that somehow I don't know how to do. I haven't practiced enough because it feels really odd because I don't have a person in front of me. And so I quit. I quit really easily. But then I keep remembering all the times that tarot readers helped me with their general readings. But also, I remember how I could also get lost with the positivity, and I needed sometimes a more real, more grounded, harmonious reading or balanced, because I am both. I'm spiritual and have a temporal self. So I could also, sometimes use some real concrete practical advice. And yeah, I have gotten lost also by listening to tarot readers and being in sort of my I was trapped in my own algorithm bubble, and then if you're not careful, you could get stuck there. So because of those things, it always gave me such a big burden to read generally for people. I didn't want to confuse them, and I don't know. Perhaps another way in which I was hiding as well, but that is what I was telling myself. Why I wouldn't do it, why it felt odd, or maybe I shouldn't because it felt odd. But people have their own agency, and I believe that you are capable of knowing what resonates, and you are responsible for your own critical thinking, right? So I am going to stop thinking that I'm going to confuse people or that is useless, because like I said, it has helped me. So I will trust that it will help you too. Okay, I'll make a video tomorrow about it. I'll do a reading tomorrow. Yes, that is my homework, my quest that I give myself in this back to myself. No, what did I call it at the beginning? I will be sharing more of my journey back to my balanced self, the one that learns again how to survive in the world. All right,